Hello, everybody, and welcome. And turn the music down on the background.
Right?
Yeah,
Stop rocking
favor
them.
to everybody, and we just speak healing and be of service to yourself and one another. Welcome, everyone. Hello, Miss Trina. How are you doing, dear?
I am wonderful. And how are you, Wayne?
Well, I am absolutely joyous. I am in a state of pleasantness, and I'm really digging the ride.
Right on.
How
Me
about
too.
yourself?
I feel the same way. I went through a wave of, uh-oh. And now it's like, let's just get it over with, feeling a sense of relief, I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
the energy's off the hook. I guess the Schumann hit 500 yesterday.
did it really?
It
Yeah.
sure did.
Hey Kaz, Hawk, how you doing,
Hi,
dear?
Cass.
Got to get Kaz back on. That last time that
She's
was
so
a hoot.
wonderful.
And we know who we also ought to rustle up. Get Robert V on here.
Mm-hmm.
I
Love
mean,
Robert.
unless he's listening while he's working. But hey, buddy, good to see you. Hello, all the moderators and Big Al. Big Al is on the road heading here to Colorado. Well, Al, I hope you got some of the good tires on because it is snowing. Susie Q, how you do? So David Castle, Darth, good to see you, brother. Wendy and John Price. Room's filling up, Miss Trina.
Oh, I love it. Soul Tribe arrive.
The Soul Tribe has arrived.
That's
So
it.
we didn't get on last week because it really it's like you were saying, Trina. The energy, I mean, right now that I've processed it, now that I have been able to. And how I look at it is that I have been able to transmute the energy so that there is not a friction there, but
Mhm.
there is a flow.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you got the information, but you balanced it to where you're no longer reactive. Yep.
Bingo.
That's
Bingo,
that
bingo,
middle
bingo.
path. This is what the key to what we got to learn right now. This is that
Yeah,
we got to figure that out because man, I think when we get anchored into either way, you're being pulled, and that is again that's that division, the separation, the duality, polarity, and I think that's our biggest challenge to overcome right now. And boy, when you can
yes.
get yourself through a negative emotional feeling or knowing, and literally find peace with that, that's powerful.
It is
So
powerful.
yeah,
And that's what I've done. And there's a lot of we're seeing things. I mean, yesterday's show, it's interesting. You and I were talking prior to we went live. I actually wrote to our governor here in Colorado and explained the situation. I said, we Coloradans, we're peaceful, loving people for the most part. We work and live side by side. And I said, having a flag is very important. I said, so why is it that on the state capitol, we're flying the war flag of the United States and not the civil flag of peacetime? Well, I got a response back and they said, well, could you contact and let us know further? So I called them.
yeah,
They never heard of anything. They did not know two things. They did not know that the flag flying, the stars and stripes, is actually a war flag. The person
yeah,
did not know that. Now, this is the governor's office. And secondly, they had never heard that the United States had a thing called, the young lady she was very polite,
yeah,
because she said, I never heard this. She says, we never saw your email. And
yeah,
so she says, the United States actually, the official flag is the civil flag of peacetime. I said, yeah.
yeah.
So I'm hoping that Governor Polis here in Colorado would take the bold step and
Investigate.
take
Yes.
down this war flag because Colorado is not at war with anybody. The United States may be, but
Right.
Colorado isn't.
And maybe she can educate the other governors.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. I
because I
told
mean,
him.
this is important. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought that they would have at least known and gave you some kind of. They did. That's to not know. That's profound. It's like,
Our
wow,
congressman didn't know.
wow. See, it is. This is the great revealing, Wayne. The apocalypse.
It
This
is
is the
amazing.
stuff that's going to rock people to their core when they realize, oh my goodness,
Look at what
we're
we've done.
we're flying a war flag
We're
and
flying a
we
war
didn't
flag.
even know. And oh
Lucky
my
Stone,
God.
I want to say, you really said something profound yesterday. He said the United States went to the moon and placed a war flag on the
Yes.
freaking moon.
Yes. Oh
What
my
the
gosh.
freak is wrong with the United States? You got your head up your ass. We put a war flag on something in outer space. Well, this says, welcome, come on in. Guns
Yep.
a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing. I love it. Yeah. Guns a-blazing. Here.
I
Oh
mean,
boy. Yeah. What
it's
a
like,
message. Really?
what
But
a
see, that's the
message.
thing.
Yeah,
Most people, we don't know our own history.
we
It's
don't.
been wiped, squashed, and yeah, and it's, thank God people are digging and doing the research like you, Wayne, bringing up the fact about this flag. I mean, it is a
It's a
fact,
big deal.
and it is a huge deal because that's why pirates have flags on their ships. That's why governments have flags. They are a direct and clear message of what is happening. Every time they would go to battle, they would always flip the flags. There's always a message with the flag, whether you are peace or if you are coming for war.
When
It's
we
a
get on an
big deal.
airplane, your airplane, once it leaves the gate, it is under maritime law.
Yes.
People don't know that. The
Yes.
captain of that craft, that airplane, that whatever, once it pulls away, that is now under maritime, the admiralty.
Which is all commercial code.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
And
you.
yeah, and that is all
Yes.
commerce and that is all about corporations. We really need to understand the difference between corporate law, which is the law that most people we are all currently under, and what common law is, and how the common law got hijacked and how it got stopped and we got forced into corporate law. That's why the Constitution is truly not even in effect.
No, no. And by the way,
We're in wartime, guys. When you're in
we're
wartime, it's not in
we're just a
effect.
warrior nation, man. And
Right.
Rod, here's the
Absolutely.
one thing not to cut you off, Trina, but he
No.
said that someone said we didn't go to the moon. Here's the one thing that would put that to bed forever. You go to any planetarium or you can go to any university and you can make a request of the astrophysics department. And they will, in fact, I don't know under the COVID rules now, but prior to the COVID thing, it's very simple. You get a powerful enough laser and you aim it at a specific spot in the Sea of Tranquility. And once that laser shoots back, it sends back a signal about 2.3 seconds later. Now, the reason why it can do that is that because there's man-made laser reflectors up there. How
Yeah.
the hell did that get up there? I don't know. We didn't go to the moon. Well, then Santa Claus or the aliens put it up there. But you know what, folks? Come on, grow
Yeah.
up.
Well, they just announced Space Force and that huge guy that's been working for the Space Force for 30 years at like the highest clearance said our president's working with aliens and they have bases on Mars. That was a pretty big statement,
Hey,
you
the
know?
former Israeli military
Yeah.
minister
I was like, wow, that was a drop.
said,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
well, they're here.
Yeah, I was like, that was a
Okay.
pretty big little
Mhm.
boom for everybody to chew up. I was like, wow.
Gee, yeah, it's like,
Impressive.
yeah. But getting back to the point of this flag, what this really does is that once it sinks in, it shows every person how easily we have been deceived and how we live our lives in an illusion.
Absolutely.
Although, Miss Trina, we think that we have free will in this matter.
Yeah. And you know what, Wayne, like I said, when you said we were going to talk about this, I've thought about it a lot. And I think that we might actually truly have it, but
Yeah.
not if you can't figure out the illusion.
Yeah.
If you can't figure out the illusion and rip through that veil, you don't really have any free will at all because you're literally just following the program and you're
Yeah.
following the persona.
Yeah.
And when you can drop all that stuff away and like you said, process this world, but get to that 0 point of that middle path where you're like you find peace with all of it because you can understand it from a different higher place. of wisdom and understanding, that's, I think, the only way you have any kind of free will or free choice, because then you're operating with the spiritual, and the spiritual bypasses the physical.
And it's an
So,
interesting dilemma because
oh yeah.
here in this, in fact, I put together, and Rod, I think it's cool. Thanks for letting me know that it's like this. Everyone can choose whatever they want to believe. It's cool.
Oh,
I don't really
absolutely.
care, but, you know, my family, my father, was the chief, he engraved and designed all the panels for Apollo, Gemini,
Wow.
Skylab. Yeah. So,
Wow.
my family name is my
Wow.
name, my brother's name, and my dad's name is on Apollo 15 on the lander
That
that's
is
still up there.
so cool, Wayne.
Yeah,
Oh
my
my
dad.
God, that
Yeah,
is so cool.
so,
That is really cool. Way back. I
well,
like
it's one of the little things dad did while he was, my dad's now 85 and
wow.
worked 37 years at NASA right there in Clear.
He
Um,
probably knew my uncle Nelson Goud.
Probably, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, right there in Clear Lake, Texas, and
Yeah, he worked in California near Whittier.
yeah, 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 dad, and it was, one of the things, I mean, he was one of the, he was the grunt people that really put that program together. So anyway,
Wow.
I'm very proud of my father, and it's one of the
That is
legacies.
super cool, Wayne.
So when I pass on from this life, I'm going to go up there and I want to check that out.
Absolutely.
Probably the aliens already harvested. Oh, Steiger. Oh, we're going to check him out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Trina,
Hmm.
it's good to get back into our rhythm of, coming on Tuesdays. And,
Yeah.
when we were discussing yesterday, which is a bombshell, I mean, because it shatters the
Oh,
whole reality. I'm going to do a show tomorrow, and the theme of it is, does reality actually exist?
I think that there's multiple realities happening simultaneously,
Yeah, a lot of people
and
would
and
agree with
and
you on that.
multiple systems. It's like you brought up the flag. The whole purpose of the flag is about establishing the post office.
Yeah, isn't that odd?
And it's the only
What?
part of our system that's still held in common law.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, yeah, this is some big stuff that you're dropping right here. And it was just so amazing. And, a lot of people have been doing research on this, and I have been for many, many years. So I kind of had an awareness of the flag thing, but I didn't know about the specific civil peacetime flag. I've
Yeah.
looked at different flags, different positions mean different things, but I'd never seen that information. So that, like I said, as much as I've looked at, I still didn't find that piece. It's a profound piece.
I call it a glitch in the matrix.
It's beautiful. I love it.
And
Yes.
you see, the reason why I
Yes.
call it a glitch, like you said,
Yes.
people who have really done the research know, but when it suddenly has this glitch that the matrix suddenly allows it to spread throughout the neural net.
The great revealing.
Yeah, exactly. The apocalypse.
Yes.
Because that's technically what happened yesterday. We all lived an apocalypse.
And it was so amazing. All the people that didn't know that information, and they were like, what? That is great when you learn something that powerful. That is powerful.
I'm
That is
asking
such
everyone, by the
wonderful.
way, call up your state, write your governor, make a request, and do it respectfully.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I'm an independent, and I really don't, Polis is, to me, he's done a good job, and he's a Democrat. So, but the point is, do it with respect and
Oh,
bring
God,
out the
yes.
logic of this. Ask why your state is submitting its citizens, its state citizens, by the way,
Uh-huh.
to a war banner.
Absolutely. And did you know that it's a war banner? Because I didn't
I didn't
know.
know it.
That's what I mean. Because I didn't know. Do you know? Because I didn't know. And
Yeah.
and do you know? And are we? And are who with?
I had a
you
guy,
know?
an Army captain, write me yesterday, and he said, "I cannot thank you enough, Mr. Steiger." And you don't have to call
Absolutely.
me Mr. Steiger; it's Wayne. But he was very respectful, and he said, "I have served," he said, 13 years,
Yeah.
and he said they don't teach us this
No.
in military school.
No, and they sure do teach you about the importance of the war flag.
Yes, they do.
They
They
even
teach
put
you
it
the
on the
signias.
coffins. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
and the special preparation of the folding of the flag as
You
the
know,
death of a soldier receives. Man, that's all. It's this flag stuff is really important, guys. Like I said, this is a huge drop. Huge.
well,
It's a huge
someone wrote me
thing.
from England, and it was very profound. And the person writing said, in England, there are those who are aware of it and will not. And this is interesting because in England, it's called a docket. We have the same thing here.
Yep.
They will not walk on into the docket if the flag, their flag, is there with the maritime law, the same process. And
Yep.
now the courts are having to figure out what's going on. I say the same thing here in the United States. Talk to your attorney. I'm talking to mine
Yeah.
and saying, let's make something clear here. We got some things that where we have to be in a court. If they ever allow that via Zoom. But here's the point: that flag is still going to be flying,
Absolutely. And
and
it
I want to
literally
know what court is
that's
our
stating
case
there.
being heard.
There's none. There's only one apparently, and it is in Washington, D.C. And there's only one common law court left in the,
Oh God,
yeah.
about that, Trina.
And it's very hard to get seen at that court. So, like
I
I said,
bet.
but you know that there is remedy for this, and it is to reestablish what they call the court de jures, which are the original common law courts. And it only takes 12 people to form a jury, and you have to have somebody that takes somebody who will preside over it, and it's basically upholding and going by the maxims of law and constitutional law only, because it's under common law jurisdiction, and those are based on the maxims, which are above statutes and codes.
And
So
you said something, the Constitution.
yes.
And a lot of people don't realize, I did not realize to the extent that the Constitution is invalid, has no power, no law of authority
Yeah, as of
in a maritime
1913
admirable
it
court.
was solidified.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
fully solidified in 1913.
Um,
Yeah.
someone is saying common law court in Pennsylvania.
Oh, really? That's
That's
great,
what she,
because I
she
know
said. No,
that
the
they were
only
gonna
one.
start them. Has it been around for a while, or is it
It's T.
relatively new?
Witten. Um, he's writing in here.
When
I did not know. The way I can tell you in some legal proceedings I have been involved in, um, you can get really screwed
oh, God,
really
yes.
quick, really fast, and don't
Mhm,
think that you
mhm.
have this constitutional right. I found out in a particular case, I didn't have any rights.
You don't, not when you're in admiralty court. You do
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
You're in a
yeah.
corporation court, and it
Very
is
key
about
point.
banking, and it is about settling a debt that they think that you owe them, and that's it, and that's why you're a trustee, because you're a trustee, and you're about to get bonded. And that's why you got to have
We
a
have to.
bail bond to get you out, because they're bonding you as a corporation. They're not even looking at you as a person, man or woman. You're no longer that. You're a corporate. You're a corpse. You are a walking dead. That's why the attorney, you have to have an attorney, because you can't, the
Well, you
court
can't
can't
cross the
hear
bar,
you.
number one.
Well, and the court can't hear you. That's the
Yes.
law. So
Yeah.
you have to have an interpreter, because you've been treated. See, when you don't know what you are and who you are and what court you're in, you're proving to them that you're an idiot.
Well,
So
you
you have
have
to
to
have
have an
somebody,
advocate, number one.
yeah, an advocate to speak
That's,
for you, because
yep.
you don't understand the language. You can't speak the language, therefore they can't understand you or hear you. So you have to have a representative to speak for you. This is all, it's a stage. And it's all
Where
based
people
on
are very,
corporation law, not anything to do with common law or our constitution. Has nothing to do with the same.
no, no, and it is not common law. And even your traffic court, um,
Yeah.
I never
Maritime.
realized that anyone can go where they used to have it, and you're actually sitting in, you can see the process where your constitutional rights non-existent.
No, think about it. And you go in
Yeah,
and you plead. The first
yeah.
thing they say, what is your plea? You're begging. You're begging to go to
What's your
jail.
plea?
You're
Yeah.
begging to get fined. You're begging for them to do whatever they want to. And those are called your benefits and your services that you
And,
get as being a citizen. You know, it's
and
such a
it's
mess,
interesting
Wayne.
because if you ever get cited for contempt of court,
Yeah.
that's an interesting number one. Your ass is going to end up in jail.
Yep.
And if the judge doesn't rescind it,
Mhm.
sometimes you can be there a while until you meet the conditions. But it's really interesting because in that contempt,
Mhm.
that is actually what it is saying that you have shown to the admiralty.
Mhm.
You've shown contempt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is an act of war.
Yeah. So
Yes.
now you no longer are addressing a court that has now become your adversary.
Correct.
Oh shit, how do we get out of this mess, Harry?
Yeah, it is. It's a slippery slope.
It's like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Wayne, I learned all of this before I was getting ready to go to divorce court.
Yeah, well, that's a good time to start learning.
I didn't bring an attorney.
Well,
And
yeah.
you know what? It worked out so well. And because I was respectful, I was not being cocky. I was just like, I don't have the money to spend. I don't. So here I am. It's a divorce. It is what it is. It's law. 50%, 50%. Split it up. What's going on with the kids? We walk out the door. It's kind of cut and dry. I said, I'm not here to fight for nothing. I'm not here to ask for nothing. Blah, 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 blah. I says, we've already agreed 50-50 on the kids, whatever. And she was really cool. And she was like, well, why aren't you doing this? And I was like, because right now is not a good time. We just went through bankruptcy, whatever.
Mhm.
And I explained the situation to her. And my husband kept freaking out because he didn't want to divorce me. So I had to go 3 times to finally get that accomplished. But anyways, so on the third time, she's listening to all this, and I have no representation. I was very respectful and did exactly, was just not asking for anything stupid, just totally like, we're good. And she told me, she said, because of your circumstances, if there is any other time that you would like to change this divorce decree, you may come into this courtroom and know that your voice will be heard. I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, what? And yeah, she literally told me that I could, yeah, because there's a lot of good people still in the system. They're hard to find, but there are some there. And yeah, she totally understood what I was doing. And she was completely like, you're not an idiot and you're not doing anything wrong. So I'm going to help you. And I was like, that was really cool.
Here in Colorado, all you have to do, the state provides you a form, and the state provides a arbitrator to both couples.
Yeah.
And you can literally get within, I think it's 6 weeks from the time you file
Mhm.
so, and it is true. And in some of the states, they are coming around because here's the thing about it. We don't live in a democracy here in the United States. We're a republic. We're
Right.
made up of independent states, and actually, we actually are made up of independent nations. Texas is still an independent nation. In
Yep.
fact, Texas is the only state in the current union that has it in when they rejoined after the Civil War. They have a stipulation that Texas can succeed at any time that Texas desires.
That's why the government got really nervous when they said they were going to when Obama
Yeah,
was in office. That was
yeah.
really happening at that time in our
Yeah.
history. I mean, that was
Now,
really on the
Mexico,
table.
I hear, is going to be contesting, I think Southern California. They're contesting that the treaty that they say that they were forced into by the United States, that Mexico never succeeded Southern California from the independent nation of Mexico. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of property disputes happening with Mexico right now, even within the own country, even within Mexico.
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot going on with that right now.
yeah.
It's crazy.
We live in a time, and um, I want to pull us into this because this conversation is a conversation that I am more as I continue to go, continue to progress to the point that free will is an illusion, because we're going to talk, do we actually have free will, or is it determinism?
I don't think we have any free will right now because of the fake systems that we're existing in.
So,
Game over.
yeah, I mean, and here's the argument that says that we do not have free will. And, Trina, so how does a person say, well, I have free will, but yet how does the free will coincide with fate?
The only way I can find any kind of logical argument with that one is that if we plan a lot of our experiences
All right. So that would be
before we
then
come, yeah.
predeterminism.
So yeah, oh, I know I picked that for myself, so I'm gonna bring it in. Yeah, that's the only argument I can logically find for that, because fate does seem like, man, if it's fate, it's fate. So yeah.
Well, then you have destiny.
Hmm.
Barack Obama was destined to become president
Yeah,
of the
I
United
mean, how
States.
far are fate and destiny from one another, man? That's close.
Yeah, it is.
They're
It
so
truly is.
close.
And then, as you were just saying, so let's say we all planned our lives ahead of time.
Uh-huh.
Well, then that completely shatters free will, because that really does invoke then that there is
Hmm.
predetermination. And that was one of the things I struggled with as a Christian, particularly where Paul gets into the argument in the book of Romans, where he talks about in Romans 14 specifically, he said, there are those who have been predetermined for
Hmm.
salvation.
Hmm.
Well,
And I can see how that could be, is because you've gone through it so many times already that every single time you didn't get trapped in the illusion, you woke up in it. So I think those are the predetermined ones, and it's because they've done it. And it's like you're totally woke up in this matrix right now. So it's a success. You know what I mean? That is the success, because this is such a powerful mental construct. And if you can tap back into the within part of you, the heart part of you, and know you're more than just this reality, your spirit, that you're bigger than just this, then you can start to see the truth about the systems you're in. Then you start to see history different. Then you start to look at law. You start to look at everything, and it causes an apocalypse and a great revealing. Once you get the scales fall off of the eyes,
well,
it's
then, but
over.
how does that tie into free will? Because,
Because I
free
think you
will,
have it if you get it. You don't get it automatically. I think I think it's kind of like it's the ultimate test. So if
okay.
you can't see through this illusion, you have no free will, because you're just, running your program. You're not using any of your own higher thought processes. You're literally just going on full 3D sensory, go with the program, because you got to figure, Wayne, the biggest part of this stupid program that we're getting over right now is the whole judgment thing. You better be good or God's going to throw you in hell.
Hmm.
That's we're trying to get over that whole concept of somebody's going to, it's a whole shift of consciousness. And I really think that is the apocalypse, because it's going to free the souls, because they get a love of the truth. And when you start to search for truth, the illusion breaks apart here. And I think as soon as it breaks apart, it loses its power,
And how does that tie into free will? I'm trying to
because we're
follow
stuck in
that.
a program, but we can break out of it with our desire to break out of the program.
Would
Like
that be a
you have,
choice, not will?
I think it's got to be a strong will, because man, it's a rough ride. You got to be kind of
Yeah.
determined, I think.
Well,
It's
because,
easier to stay asleep than it is to be woke.
all
I
right,
guess
so
that's my
we've
best
used the
friend.
term apocalypse here. And so prophecy. People, we do the cards on Friday, people want to see what that ethereal realm is saying. And if prophecy is in fact valid, then it invalidates free will, because prophecy is saying that this is going to happen regardless of what anyone else do. This is going to be the end result. Now the argument on the other side is that, well, that may be true, but people have free will, as to how they're going to reach the destination. But I said, well, then that's predetermination.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well, yeah, you're still going down the same path.
Do you believe in prophecy?
You know, yes, because my God, I've seen so much evidence of it being accurate.
So couldn't you say then that you've lived in the aspect that there is no free will if prophecy is because I don't understand how prophecy can say that Trina will be on the corner of 5th and Lexington on, let's say, February 9th at exactly, 11:11 a.m.
I think that's how prophecy kind of works is people see patterns and they know how the patterns repeat themselves. So if I go every single day to this certain restaurant and get my lunch and I'm there every day, 5 days a week, if you want to go find, you're going to be able to predict when I'm going to do that.
So that's a prediction, and that's another good discussion. Is prediction and prophecy one and the same, or are they two different?
Right. They're so close. It's like,
I
oh,
think,
what a
yeah.
slippery slope. Yeah, they're
Because if
so
I can predict what you're going to do, then that implies that you have no free will, that my
correct. But
will
see,
is
kind of
superseding
like,
yours.
but see, that's where I see the dualness of it all, because then it sees like, well, that's the restaurant I like to go to, because I could go to 100 different ones, but I go to that one because I like that one. I'm choosing to go to that one. So that's what I mean. They're so close together. It's so difficult because we are running programs and we do most of the things over and over and over again. So that, that's just running a program. But like seeking to know what's hidden, seeking to look for, man, is this real? Is it right? Really digging and seeking and looking. I think that's how people wake up. And I think when you wake up, you start to have more free will because you kind of get off the program. You stop producing the same patterns and you start doing things a little bit differently. That's the only kind of little bit of free will I think that we kind of have in this, but I think we predetermine before we come here a basic theme of what we need to accomplish. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think you can deviate too far off of that. But did you choose that program? So you know what, I see this at so many levels. It's like, who's operating the main system up here? And do we have any influence over that? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I mean, because, and then the next one is death, because,
Yeah,
all right, so if you have free will, well, surely your free will should be strong enough where you say, well, I don't want to die.
right.
Michael Jackson in his last breath said, I don't want to die.
Yeah, yeah,
And so death here again, I mean, it's one of those things. Um, so we talk about free choice, right?
Phew.
Bless you.
Uh-huh.
All
Yep.
right. So we have, and you see that's an
Yes.
old time saying because they used to say bless you because they thought that a sneeze was your spirit going out.
Yeah.
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 So here's
They
free
said too, it
choice.
makes your heart stop, and they're like, what if it don't start back up?
Yeah. Like,
Uh-oh.
come on, come on.
Yeah.
So if death is the ultimate destination for us all, the illusion is that we have what we think is free will. And on top of that, we're very proud to say, well, I have free choice.
Yep.
But if the destination is still the destination, it doesn't matter whether you choose right or left, you're still heading for the destination.
Yep. Yep.
That's
That's what I
just
mean.
weird.
When you look at it from a bigger perspective, it's like, man, do you have any control over this at all? I don't know. I don't know.
Boy, I don't know, and
Don't
some
know.
people always say, well, having a choice then means that it's not free will because the boundaries of the two are incredible.
Yes.
I mean, this is what we live in. We each live in this illusion that we call our own reality. But
Yep.
Trina, when you think about something as simple as a flag missed a whole population, it
Right.
shows.
That's what I mean. It's like, see, through your choice and your love of research and looking for the truth, you've just expanded the consciousness of so many people because they just saw something they never knew was real, but it's real.
Well, Neil
So,
deGrasse Tyson said it best. He says, you have the illusion of free will, but in fact, that illusion comes about because you don't know the future, because you are a prisoner of the present, forever locked in transition between the past and the future.
yes,
Yes, I'm
yeah,
telling you this, and I'll just stop it there, because it goes on. But this validates Trina so much. I mean, in the aspect that, I don't know, is it the fact that you see, I think we are gods, and I'll tell you why.
I think so too.
I think that we design our personality.
Uh-huh.
You've got 7.5 billion people. So they say closer 8 billion now. And if you take all those people and you put them all into a room, you would have nearly 8 billion different personalities.
Yes.
Wow.
Every single one is different than the next. Yes, absolutely. And the
That's
way I saw,
mind
remember I always
blowing.
told you about the 7 rays of creation?
Mm-hmm.
And like they hit the zodiac wheel, and then you go through those attributes, and then you go down and you incarnate into the earth. And then it's like the earth, it's like the brain has 7 different parts, and then the earth has 7 different continents, and the rays of light were 7 rays. It's like the 7 and the 4 and the 12. Those are huge parts of our whole program. And I don't know if we start to figure all of this out, if we can actually start to really be able to affect it and manipulate it because we understand how the time wheel and the program is working. So I wonder that too, because now we didn't even know about it. How could we affect it? Just like now we know about this flag, that's going to hopefully cause some effect. And can you imagine what the vibration will do if the right flag is hanging everywhere? Wayne, that could change everything.
I wrote that to a person left a comment. I know she was just saying, she says it won't do any good, but I disagree. I said,
Mhm.
I go back to my Bible training, because there's a lot of practicality within much that is written there. But one of the things I learned as an entrepreneur was from Habakkuk 2, 3, and 4. And it says, write the vision on the wall. Though the vision tarry, it shall come to pass. And the story behind that is that the nation of Israel was coming out of captivity from Babylon, and the temple had been destroyed. Jerusalem just lay in waste, and the people murmured because Jehovah had commanded them to start to rebuild the temple. The people said, nah, we'll never be able to build one like the first one. And they said, besides, look at all this. So Jehovah told Habakkuk to write on the wall where every person passed every day to get water and food, and to draw the temple out. And what it says is that the people will see the vision and the people will cause it to come to pass.
Yes. That's what I was thinking too, Wayne, with the whole flag thing. You know, our subconscious mind knows that that's a wartime flag.
I think
We
we
don't
do.
know. We didn't know until, it was brought to our attention, but
Yeah.
our subconscious mind somehow knows this.
Yeah.
So symbols speak louder than words.
I
So
mean, I did a whole show on sigils,
yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So if we
symbols,
get this right
signs.
symbol back going up,
Yes.
it's a powerful reversal of this dark magic. I mean, this is huge.
I believe that if this gains
Huge.
the momentum that it should be an act of Congress to tear that thing down, and put up the civil flag. I believe that that will start a mindset
Uh-huh.
change in every person who sees that. And you know why? Ladies and gentlemen, here's why. Because when it first is going to be hoisted, it's going to be national news.
Yeah, and not just that, like I said, Wayne, these symbols, they speak very deeply to our subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that wartime flag for all these hundreds of years, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like that's in the subconscious mind. So no matter what, we're always going to be knowing that we're in war and we don't have an awareness of it. That in itself is a conundrum.
Yeah. I mean, this is deep. This is how we got here.
Yes, and this is how we flip things back upright. It is the time of revelation and apocalypse. It's going to break people's realities apart.
It will. I
All these
think it
people that
shatters
love their
everything.
flag and now they're going to find out this is a war flag. This isn't my true flag. That's going to make them sad. But
I
it's the truth and we need to know
it
the
is going to
truth.
make them sad. I think there's a lot of patriots
This
that are just going to go, uh,
sucks.
what the hell?
Yeah, they're going to be like, "Oh, that sucks real
So,
bad."
no, wait a minute. We love the stars and stripes, but
That's right. Man,
you
they do too. And because
they
they thought it
do.
meant something different than what it does.
And then they're going to look at their real flag. You see, this is what blows my mind because when you look at what your
Oh
real
my gosh,
flag
Wayne, even our Star Spangled Banner, when it talks
is
about, oh,
wrong.
say, can you see that's about battle?
Yeah. And
It is
that's
a
what
wartime and
that's
oh
why the
my
song came
goodness,
out.
it's all in our face. Oh my gosh.
So the original national anthem was America, America, God should
God
blah blah
said
blah. We
his
all know that
way.
one.
See,
That is the one that was supposed to be, not this war anthem. Now, the war anthem is fine in the midst of war. That's when the Star Strangled, that's when the Star Spangled Banner should be sung, but not in stadiums, not in where civilians are actually gathering. No,
wow. Wow.
because if you hear a different song, when God blessed the plains, he made our bounty, our basket overflow, God's grace flows on us. Yeah, that's a different song than when the bombs were
The
exploding.
rockets and the
Yeah,
bombs and yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
A
And
whole
the dead
different
bodies are
reality.
holding up the flag and the other guys go to hold the flag till they get dead and then the next ones run up and they get
Exactly.
dead.
You
Yeah.
know? Oh, and
Wow.
you just brought up something that just flashed in my mind. So if you think about how the wars were fought for independence, which we never actually got, but anyway, you always had what in the troops? You had the guy holding the flag in
Yep.
the front of all the troops. That
Yep.
son of a bitch is going to get shot. So it's a dead man's
Yes.
role.
Yes.
Holy crap, we
War.
think about this.
Well, yes. That's why we have to go to warship.
Exactly. And that was the point
Yeah.
yesterday I was making out. So it's a warship, and that's what warship is.
Yep. That's what I mean, Wayne.
I
This is
haven't seen
huge. And if
Julianne Payne.
people
So how are
can
you doing, dear?
all of man, if we can spread this news about this flag and that we need to change our flag to a peacetime flag because we don't want war no more. It's time
Yeah.
for the peace flag to fly because we don't want war no more. We want love and we want people to learn how to work together. No
Here's
war
the
no more.
biggest thing, Trina, that blew my mind yesterday. I was meditating on this, and I'm back at Woodstock. We missed it. The
Yeah.
Woodstock generation missed it. They should have had that flag as their banner, not the goddamn flag that you see that they were wrapping and they said they were disrespecting. If they were disrespecting, they were disrespecting the war flag,
Yep.
the war banner.
Yep. Isn't it crazy?
I mean, Trina, this
No, but
just
it's taken us time to learn. And and like you said, a glitch in the matrix. Wayne, you might have found one because I've looked at these flags and I don't remember seeing that.
yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, what's that? You know what I mean? I was like, what is, oh my goodness. I was like, I never saw that before. And that's why I was like, glitch in the matrix. This is the revealing.
So think about
Because,
this, Trina. We've operated under this reality,
uh-huh.
making free choices of what we think is our free will, but no, because there is this umbrella, there's this firmament that resides over us that is declaring a particular mindset, a spirit. A war is a spirit,
Yeah. But
it's
see, Wayne, like I
destruction.
said, once you identify these demonic, darker entities, energies, that is the hardest part of this game is identification. But when you can ID these things, they don't have no power anymore.
Folks, I know we got smart people here, but here's what I just got in my mind. I just saw Collie.
Oh, yeah.
Kali, I saw her. She is the goddess of war.
Yes, she is. Yes. Yes.
Well, hell, there's your problem.
Yes. And look at
You've been
what's on
calling the
CERN,
wrong god.
and look at what's the emblem of CERN. Kali,
Yeah, yeah.
emblem of war.
Jordan Maxwell, yeah, goes over all this along with the text. I can't see that Texmar.
Huh.
Huh. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
Well,
this
you
is
know, if we
like,
could start uniting this information, Trina, with the
yeah,
other genres, other channels, other outlets.
yes. And I think too, like I said, Wayne, that flag. I mean, that flag. It's like if people could start to see that flag, they would be like, "What is this flag?" And you'd be like, "Do you know this is the true flag of the United States that's supposed to be flown during peace?"
Well, I ordered and I corrected Amazon, came down on them because they're calling this the civil flag of peacetime a conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
And I wrote to the person there and I said, you need to get that asshole off there who can actually do some research.
that's
This is
right.
not conspiracy theory. This is fact. This is law. This is the fact.
Right.
But so ordered mine. We're going to fly ours every day. And I've actually ordered t-shirts for myself. I want to try them out and hoodies that have the civil flag on their peacetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 So, and I would put, "Did you know this is the
Did you
real flag of the United States?"
know?
Did
uh,
you know? Because most people don't know.
they don't. They
No,
don't.
I didn't know. Like I said, I've looked at flags. I've looked at a lot of flags. And does anybody know what the black and white striped flag means? What's that mean?
The black and white, when I saw that, I think
Yeah, I
that
see it a lot, and I know it has a meaning. And I'm like, what's the meaning? I know probably somebody in here must know the meaning.
I think it has to do with mourning. I could be wrong. I know that many of the military insignia and the police insignia now, they have the black flag,
Wow.
you
Okay.
know, the black stars and stripes.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, yeah. Um, does anyone know what that is?
That's it. That's like I said, I feel like that's another dark sigil that we might need to
We got to
address.
get
'Cause
rid
I
of
don't
that
know.
one.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is going to be an awakening on the whole population of the United States when they begin to realize this. And that we as a peace-loving nation thinking that we've been in peace. No. And you want to know why everyone's mad at each other?
You
Well,
know, Wayne, too, from what I understand, I think that they had to keep us into wartime to establish the corporate status of America because they could not do this if we were under our constitutional ruling. That's why we've never been taken out of war, was so they could start this fictitious admiralty system.
I'm looking at a link that someone, oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because they couldn't do this if we were in constitutional protection. They can only do this under a wartime because that stops all everything, and the government and the military go in full control.
did you know the Federal Reserve has a flag?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. That's cool. That
Like I said,
is
Wayne,
really
I've looked at a lot of flags and I don't remember seeing that one. So I was like, wow, that's very interesting. What is, I was like, oh, this is good. This is good information right here.
when Lynn and I came across this and I was bringing her out the information, she just looked at me and she says, you know, I went to school and school was actually hard,
Right.
it was still pretty tough.
Yep.
They never taught this in civics. They never
Nope.
taught this in US government.
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
So why was there a concerted effort? Because this makes me think, then why did you not want this flying? Because it should have been flown the minute that Roosevelt declared, peace and all sensations of hostilities against blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And that
Right.
civil flag should have been flown back up on the federal building
But like
or
I said, though, I don't think that they can probably allow it because then they would lose the admiralty system because it would no longer be in place within, because our
well, yeah,
cons.
you're no longer part of the trust.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Dave Mack says, look at the flag of Washington, D.C., City of London, the Vatican. Yes, they are all the same. Yes. And then we discussed that yesterday because
Yeah.
that's key. to where Washington, D.C. is at. That's why they can never make D.C. a state.
That's
I
why it's
laugh every time I
dark
hear,
trinity. That's the
oh,
dark.
is it dark?
That's the
And
dark.
you can actually feel it. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to be a lobbyist, so I was in DC quite a bit. Um, and I can tell you there is a tangible force,
Mhm.
Trina. I've been in meetings and I won't get into any of the details, but there was a presence that, particularly when certain people came into the meeting, and I could sense that there was something, it's tangible. It's a
Yep.
spirit.
I know you. I
Yeah,
know what you mean. And yes, when I will tell you in the court systems, that's where I have felt some of those presences. And my goodness, you feel those presences. And boy, they know you feel those presences too.
they
It's like
do.
they look straight at you.
Yeah,
They know
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah. And they let you know that they know that you know. Yeah.
Black
Uh-huh.
stripes are for emergency response and fire crews. Okay, thank you. All right, there we
Thank
go.
you.
Now we know. See, we just got that.
Thank
But
you.
there
Yeah, I was
is,
wondering. I was like, what does that mean?
yeah,
I'm seeing it a
yeah.
lot. So that's good. Okay.
Well, I wonder if the police association would opt to take the war banner off and replace their insignia with the insignia with their same colors, but with the civil flag of peacetime,
Think about it.
because they're
What is the
civilian
Well, think
police.
about it. What is the primary oath of the police officer? Uphold the peace.
Yeah, they are
That's
a
true.
peace officer.
Yeah, peace officers
Yeah.
upholding the peace. Yeah, they're protecting and upholding the peace.
Hmm.
That's powerful, Wayne, because that should be their true flag, is
It
because
should
they
be.
do keep the peace. They do keep the civil peacetime going. It's from that.
Well, I have friends in law enforcement.
Yeah, and
This is
that should be their true flag, because that's
should
the
be.
peacetime flag, and that's they are to uphold the peace.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Coming. So someone said this was commandeered of police officers. It's interesting, what we have here. And this is my point. All of this is symbology. All of these
Yeah.
are, you know, like you said, um, when I did the one video on the US House of Representatives,
Yeah.
it's a chamber,
Yeah.
and the chamber is associated in part of the temple,
Yes.
the rostrum of where you see the temple laid out.
Yep.
I don't know if Trump knows about the civil flag. I wish he, if someone would have brought to his attention, I could see his face going, "Is he telling the truth?" And someone
Yeah,
said,
he
"Yeah,
would
yeah,
probably want to know.
yeah,
He really might
yeah,
want to know this.
yeah." It
Yeah.
changes everything because he himself has to be under the admiralty, so he knows that he
Yeah.
can't
Well, he's the
change.
president of the corporation,
Yes, he is.
but we,
Yeah.
the people, could make him the president of the true United States of America.
Yes. And here's another
Sure can.
little fact, and folks, get ready for this. So, Trina, do you know who is the one person under the Constitution
Mhm.
that is, in fact, the only person to decide if an election is going to be accepted or rejected? Do you know who that person is? And by the way, they don't need a reason.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Vice President.
I was like, it's Pence, right?
It's
But I was like,
Pence. Yep.
oh, I don't know for sure.
Yep. Yep. So when the Electoral College, it means shit. Doesn't mean a damn thing because it reports to
Yeah,
the
Pence is
vice
going to
president.
reject it. Yeah,
And
I heard that that was one of the cards that they could
he can
play.
reject. Well, it's legal.
That's what I mean. And they've got like, I think 7 different legal options now
Yeah.
that they have to hold this position.
Well, that's the one firewall that I know,
7,
and it's
Wayne.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. 7 different
And the
ways. I
number
heard
of
the other
Trump was
day.
7 coming in. Mhm.
7 different ways. Oh, yeah. He's staying in office. That just like clicked.
I don't want to start anything here. I'm just simply saying if you just read the rules,
Yep. Yeah.
the vice president, the sitting vice president,
Yep.
can reject it. Now,
Yeah.
Congress would get involved, and
Yes.
then it's one state for each, one state gets one vote. and the Congress gets to elect the president. The Senate gets to elect the vice president.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
Interesting.
in
Know
the
that part.
interim dispute, lacking martial law or anything like that, the Speaker of the House will become the interim pro tem president of the
Yes.
United States.
I did know that there was a way that one of those, yeah, yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
I want to know the future. Where's the damn book?
I just so funny because again, Wayne, it's so funny. I wonder if we're going to be witnessing two different timelines for a
Oh,
while.
isn't that something?
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Big
think
Al.
about it. Right now, we do because some people do not believe that Trump is leaving office. And right now, we have a whole bunch of people who believe that Biden is currently already president, even before he's been inaugurated. There's two different realities.
Yeah, well, I've known that the president is nothing more for show. The real government, the military industrial complex, is the
Yes.
one who's really running the show here.
Yes.
Yeah. We know about you and we know you're listening to us, but that's all right.
Absolutely.
You're welcome here. We'll lay hands on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
And
So,
hopefully, I mean, because I think a lot of people that are into those higher positions truly, they've been raised with a lot of the stuff, and it's been a lot of programming, and they don't know a lot about what's really going on, and they don't
mm-mm.
know anything other than what they've been taught. So, I think a lot of them have a change of heart when they start to see things from a different perspective and get outside of their own loop of
Yeah.
knowledge. And I think that's what happened yesterday with the governor and stuff, Wayne. You just popped a big loop.
Well,
I
listen,
was very, wow, when you said that, that was like, wow, they really didn't? That's
just
wow.
didn't know, you know.
Wow.
And hey, Jenny, good to see you, dear. Miss Jennifer. We got such a
Hi,
full crowd. Hey, Gaia, what's up?
hi,
You know,
everybody.
oh, so, this is becoming so interesting because I got a sense, Trina, and when you were talking, the word Mr. Smith came to my head.
Right.
And, the Mr. Smiths are going, they're everywhere. It's us, not Mr.
Yes.
Smith. It's us. We're
Yep.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, that we're waking up and we're doing the research and we're looking. And boy, when we all come together and share what we find, it's powerful and it's beautiful.
Hey,
And
Z.
it's freeing and it's empowering. So I just keep on keeping on.
Hey, Barry Chad, good to see you, buddy. And Danny, hello. Ricardo, good to see you.
Much love,
We
soul
speak two
family.
forms of English. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Legalese is one, and then what they call the common language.
It's
Uh,
totally different.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
You need a whole nother dictionary to learn the language of illegally. It's called Black's Law.
yes, it is. I got it right. Al, I did not get to see a drama 7 last night. Were you on last night, Trina?
No, but I was watching. It got booted.
It got booted.
Yeah.
What happened?
I think there was a couple little issues, but we all got to start really watching what we say in comments because they are literally kicking you off for what people are saying in comments. We were watching a video about people that weren't being very nice to veterans, but it was one of those reality TV shows, where they're like, "What would you do?"
Yeah.
So they were making this waitress be mean to a disabled vet, and it was it was a skit. It was for entertainment purposes only. It was supposed to be. It was for the show. What would you do? So they were showing this clip of that, and then somebody said, "Oh gosh, that's abuse," because this girl was being really mean to that person.
Yeah.
So which was true. It wasn't a mean comment or nothing, but they said something about that, and then a couple other things. But I think it's like I said, we got to be careful with comments. It's just
Well,
getting off the good
moderators,
start.
I trust you all to keep, and then this group here, listen, we
Well,
don't
Wayne, it
have that
didn't look bad.
problem.
I mean, she was just saying, "Oh my gosh, what they're doing is horrible." That is that, saying, "Oh my God, that's terrible." I mean, she wasn't saying, "Yay," I mean, it was
Mhm.
a heartfelt, nice thing to say, but there's certain words that trigger the whole thing. So yeah, I was like,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, it was just like cut off.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, ruh-roh.
What the heck?
Right. I was like, ruh-roh. Wow.
Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, it was not anything mean or anything, nothing.
Oh,
It was totally acceptable what was being said, and it was supporting that. Oh boy, that's terrible, you know. But it was, yeah, it was totally fine, but no, apparently not. So, like I said, we're learning every day. We're
yeah,
learning
yeah, yep. You
how to
got
navigate the craziness.
you have to be very neutral. You really do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
you know, and it's sad. It is.
Yes.
You know, and all we are saying.
You know, Wayne, like when you brought the whole favor thing back into the matrix,
Oh, it
and
was a
now
copyright issue.
you got the whole civil peace flag thing going. And these are dropping some beautiful bombs into this matrix. So thank
Well,
you.
thank you. Al said it was a copyright issue.
Oh, it could be because you were using the clips from a TV show.
Oh, that's a no-no.
That, yeah, that's what I was
That's
like.
a
I didn't
no.
think you could do that. So yeah,
No.
but that, yeah, so that could be definitely, that'll get you.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
use anybody else's work.
yeah, that's
Copyright.
that, and you
Not
don't
unless
want
you have
that
written
stuff.
permission. You gotta have
Yeah,
permission. Yeah.
you do, and you have to put it in there, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's so sad.
It really is because
It
you know
is.
what? None of
Mhm.
us own the rights to any of this creation. It all belongs to one source, and that
That's
source
the
is
whole
called
thing about real
Creator.
estate. You know, you're buying land, but from whom? You know?
Right. You
Yeah.
can't buy Earth.
What?
Earth
Yeah.
is her own being. She belongs to herself.
You know, it's that old
We
commercials.
get to be on her for a little bit, but when we're done, she keeps on going.
Yeah.
And like that's like somebody coming up to your body and saying, "Oh, I like your hand. I think I'm going to take it right now and own it." No, you don't get to own part of my body because that's my body. That's what the earth is saying. You silly little children, you don't get to own anything. I could take it away as fast as I made it.
Do you know
It
what happened
belongs
to
to
me the
her.
other day in Target?
What?
You know, I was wearing my running outfit. I had a woman tell me I had a good looking ass.
Right on,
You
Wayne.
know, I said, what?
Giddy up. I love it. I love
I
it.
mean, Lynn said, I'm going to have to start going to Target with you. I said,
That's it. She's like, that's it, Wayne.
she said, the hell
No
you
more
said,
tight
huh?
blue, no more of this. Just running around looking too cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I got to
awesome.
tell you what, that just took me by surprise. I said, what?
I think that's fabulous.
Anyway.
The universe just giving you one of those.
Yeah, you know, attaboy, you know, of course, Lynn
That's
says, this is
exactly it.
exactly what
I
I need.
boy.
Now you're going to get the big head and everything else. And I said, no, honey, I
No,
just
I think sometimes your light just shines and people they can't help but notice it,
looking
And
at the
yeah,
exactly. Uh,
yeah. They're gonna find the first thing they like about you and say it.
uh, I mean, I, I did it. It took me by surprise. I thought to myself, what?
I love it. That's so great. I love it. You know,
Oh,
those
man.
things make people's day.
Yeah, it does, you
It
know.
really does. It really does. And sometimes people need that. So thank God for that.
You
Oh,
know, once in a while,
yeah.
it's just nice to get some recognition, isn't it?
Once in a while, absolutely, it really is. Yeah.
Oh.
Everybody, I mean, that was one of the things I was always taught, when you see somebody, always try to find something you really like about them.
Exactly. If it's their ass, tell them, you know,
Yeah, or anything, right? Their shoes, their teeth, their
whatever.
anything. It don't
Exactly.
matter.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like find something that you like about somebody when you see them. It helps you get into alignment with them, brings you into resonance.
well, I think people had a good time today, Miss Trina.
Well, you guys are always
Oh,
awesome. Oh
y'all are
man.
the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Like I said, beautiful, beautiful people. And I'm so honored to be a part of your journey. Thank you.
And Trina, I'm honored that you come and join us each week. It's a
Oh,
real
it's one of my
joy.
highlights of my life, Wayne. It's so funny. It's like I never wanted to do nothing like this, but oh my gosh, I love our Tuesdays. I'm like, oh my
We're
gosh,
far
I love
out,
A7. I just,
you know.
it's one of the best parts of
Yeah.
my world. And I went kicking and screaming into this. I was like, nope, nope, nope,
Nope,
nope, nope,
nope,
nope,
nope.
nope. But Brian,
Ain't gonna do it.
gotta
Ain't
love
gonna do it.
Brian.
I was thinking of that rascal the other night in a lucid
Yeah.
dream. Yeah, I think he's,
Yes.
not sure where exactly as, but I know that his influence is still here. Thank you, Lost in
Oh, it
Space.
sure is.
Everyone is saying they love you, Trina,
I love you
and
back so
she really
much.
is a groovy chick. She really is.
I really, truly, genuinely love you guys. Literally, it's been a lonely journey
Yeah.
till I met you guys. So thank
See,
you.
I value each time we get together. It really
Me
is.
too. Me too.
It's a lot of fun here, and there's a lot of love in this group. There really
Oh,
is. Yeah.
seriously. You have literally, Wayne, you brought so many people together and brought so many people out into sharing content and just it's been amazing to watch.
And they're beautiful minds.
Yeah, it's even
You've
Brian,
come, well, and it was a chain of successions. It was how it
Yeah.
all worked. And
Yeah.
I give credit to Rex Bear. Rex
Oh
brought,
gosh, yes.
the
That's
seed
like I
into all
think
this.
where most of us found each other.
Yeah, it
And then
was. Yeah.
and it went off from there because yeah, Rex, yeah, we were
Yeah. Yeah, we
all of
all
us
were.
pretty much were at one time or another finding Rex.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of respect and admiration for Rex, and
Oh, I
so,
do too. And even Jeff,
yeah, yeah.
it's like some people go into different directions and that's okay, but it's like, you know what? We're all kind of a lot of us trying to do the same thing and we all
You
help each
have to
other find each other. So,
you have to learn to listen to yourself.
yeah.
You really do. And
Yeah.
sometimes, when you listen to yourself, it means making decisions, choices,
Mhm.
that go counter to where the flow is at. But I have found in life that it all seems to tie in.
Yeah, in the end it kind of weaves together like a braid somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Al, you're the instigator as well. Staying at all. By the way, talking about the full moon, I mean,
Yeah.
yesterday, we had it was almost full. And Trina, as the moon was setting in the west, about, I don't know, it was about 4:30 or so, there was
Mhm.
this cloud bank that was sitting in the mountains because the mountains were getting a storm. And when that moon began to set, it was quite beautiful, the colors that it set off in the clouds. So,
Wow.
yeah, and I went to go grab my camera and the batteries were dead.
Oh, bummer.
Doesn't
You know
suck,
what? Just meant for your memory.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, meant for your Memorex.
So, Miss Trina, what you got going on this week?
Back to work. Just going through the motions. I've got Friday nights on Andromeda 7. I've got
Yep,
Saturday nights with Robert, and then Tuesdays with you. And I'm getting ready, I think, to start bringing out some more content. There's just been so much going on with the holidays, and just I've been bringing pretty
excellent.
much most of what's on my mind with you all, so it's been good. But yeah, some more stuff is brewing in the old brain.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Andromeda 7, folks, just check them out. Make sure you get there. And then Saturday night is the Milky Way Soul Tribe with you and Robert V. So,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
right, my dear.
Tuesdays with Steiger. Love it.
And Tuesdays, and you got us. That's how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
All
It's
right,
a
folks.
wonderful, wonderful world with you guys. I would
Be
hate to
fun.
be here without you all. So
Oh,
seriously, thank you.
that would suck.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know where I would be if I hadn't found this.
I've grown and just had, there's a bonding here. It really is.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
really is.
So the
Yeah.
new moon is what? Who said that? New castle. What was that? Give me a second here. I want to
Yeah, no problem. The new
say
moon.
what? At 3:30 in the morning in the UK. Is that right?
Wow.
That's a pretty interesting time if that's the peak of the full moon. The full moon is on the 30th at 3 a.m. UK time. Wow. All right.
Wow.
That will be a pretty powerful convergence there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, everybody's looking at this little coming moon in Taurus as a potential. Holy smokes, hold on to your shorts. Gonna get bumpy, folks. Put your seatbelts on.
Yeah, it's going to get real bumpy, folks. And I did the research, and Ben Davidson was the one that brought it out, and he was right. I mean, you look at this, and it goes in about every, I think it's an 84, 88-year cycle, something like that. And
Yeah.
every time this comes around, oh, it sucks. It just
Yep.
sucks.
Yep.
And I'm going, yeah. So you got this
You know, the
alignment.
thing is though, Wayne, we've never known before that we were entering into a period that was very potentially volatile.
True. That's very
We know
true.
now. So if we can hold the peace and
Yeah.
focus intently
I'll do
on that,
Russell Crowe and Gladiator. Hold the line. Hold the
that's
line.
right. We will hold the line. Yeah.
Hold the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, all
Wouldn't that
right,
be a
folks.
great thing to see? You know, because like I'm seeing it already.
Yeah.
Everything that is trying to be done is it's not working out so well.
In every catastrophe, there are those who ride above it.
Yeah, and I think that
True.
they've been expecting enormous devastation, and it's just not happening that way. It's much
Mhm.
less than
I'm
anticipated.
going to start flying the flag of peace over my house because, I never realized that, again, if I'm declaring to the heavens that this house, this residence is a residence of war, you wouldn't want to
Right.
know why things get so screwed up in your life?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's a sigil. We know the power of a symbol and a sigil. That's a very powerful thing. So yeah, that's like I said, and we didn't know.
We
It's
didn't.
just like I'm saying, most of these symbols are being used against us, and we do not know. Just like the peace symbol is actually Algiz reversed, which is the god of the elk, the ruin of God, that being able to hear God. That's why it's got the antenna on its head. It's direct communication. It's being able to connect. So they flipped that upside down. But you guys were so filled with love that didn't work out for them so well either because you overrode it. You know what I mean?
We
But
did.
it's still, though, they've been doing these reversals of our symbols and we've never known it. And we're just now starting to put this together. So I think this is powerful. And you finding that flag, man, that was powerful.
Just the right time.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
must be.
All right, everyone.
Right before this whole thing, I'm like, oh man, wait, I don't think you could have timed that any better. For real.
Hey, listen, I think many times we're just channeling, just
Yeah,
going with the
being
flow.
guided to, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. The higher self knows what's up.
That's true. All right, everybody. Namaste to y'all,
Mwah.
and much love to you. And we'll
Yeah.
see you again real soon. For me tomorrow, and then make sure to check the screen out.
Yeah.
All right, bye.